During the pandemic, when the school was online. During the first term, I got a bad mark. When I saw the report card, I was disappointed and ashamed of myself. So during the second term, I challenged myself to get a good mark. I studied and I focused with the class. And I finished my goal and I was so happy. Hello everybody, my name is Ahmed, I am 13 years old and I am from Saudi Arabia. And this is the first video on my channel. The purpose of this channel is to review and summarize books. Some of them are popular, some of them are not, but they are filled with useful info and tips. My aim is to help students like me be the best version of themselves. I'm going to be reviewing and summarizing a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by the author Sean Covey. The reason I got into this book was the story I mentioned in the beginning about online school and my marks. The main idea of this book is to help teens improve and fix their habits. What are the main habits that this book talks about? Number 1, being proactive, which means taking responsibility for the things in your life. 2, beginning with an end goal in mind, which means when you begin something, you should always put a goal because that goal will help you to push forward and never give up. 3, putting first things first, which basically means you put the important things first. 4, thinking win-win. This basically means you think that everybody can win. 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood, which basically means when someone is talking to you, you should always listen to them carefully before you talk. 6, synergize, which basically means you cooperate with others and you should work with others. 7, sharpening the saw, which basically means to renew yourself. These were the 7 main habits that this book talks about. Sean Covey also included a tree diagram to represent the relationship of each of the 7 habits and how they build up on each other. The first 3 habits are called private victories, and they are more focused on yourself. Habits 4, 5, and 6 are called public victories, and they are more focused on your relationships with others. An important thought is that private victories always come before public victories, because if you can't work on yourself, how will you be able to work with others? And habit 7, which is renewing the saw, feeds into all the other habits. We'll talk about this later on. To better understand these habits, we must know their opposites, and I'm going to talk about them. Number 1, reacting, which means you don't take responsibility for your actions. 2, beginning with no end goal in mind, which means when you begin something, you don't have a goal, and you don't know where you're going. 3, putting first things last, which basically means you put the important things last, and you don't have any priorities. 4, thinking win-lose. You think that life is a competition. 5, seeking first to talk, then pretend to listen. This basically means that you don't care for what someone says, or you don't respect the speaker. 6, no cooperation, which means you don't like to work with others and you work alone. 7, wearing yourself out, which basically means you're so busy with other things you don't have time to renew yourself or learn new things. We've talked a lot about habits, but we still didn't define what a habit is. A habit is basically something that we do repeatedly. Most of the time, our body doesn't realize we're engaging in them. It's like our body is on autopilot. So we must control our habits because our habits will either make us or break us. The 7 habits of highly effective teens have many benefits, and I'm going to list a few. First, they increase your self-confidence. Second, they improve your relationships with friends and family. Third, they help you to make smarter decisions. And fourth, they define your important values. In the next videos, I'm going to talk about the habits in more details. So stay tuned, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you soon.